Good day, everyone. Today, we're diving deep into the lyrics of Drake's hit song, Know Yourself. This track is packed with real-world English, and we're going to break it down to learn some fresh vocabulary, slang, and maybe even a few idioms along the way. By the end of this video, you'll be able to understand and use these expressions like a native speaker. Let's get started.
Yeah. Running through the six with my woes. Count money, you know how it goes. Pray the real live forever, man. Pray the fakes get exposed.
First, we have to run through somewhere. In this context, it means to move through a place. For instance, you could say, we're running through the city all night when you're out exploring with friends. The 6 is a nickname for Toronto, derived from the city's area codes, 416 and 647. Next is woe. This term, popularized by Drake, is short for working on excellence and refers to a close friend or a crew member. A real-world example could be, my woes always have my back. Moving on, there's you know how it goes. This expression is a casual way of saying someone is already familiar with how things typically happen. It's similar to saying, you know how things are. You might use it in daily conversation like, we're stuck in traffic again. You know how it goes. Lastly, let's talk about the verb phrase, to get exposed. This means to reveal or uncover someone's secrets, flaws, or falsehoods. An example would be, if he keeps lying, he'll eventually get exposed.
I want that Ferrari, then I swear. I want that Bugatti just to hurt. I ain't rock my jewelry, that's on purpose. Niggas want my spot and don't deserve it.
The first word we'll look at is swerve. It literally means to change direction, especially suddenly, but in slang, swerve has more than one meaning. It can mean driving swiftly or skillfully, but it's also used figuratively to describe avoiding or dodging something or someone in a cool or effortless way. For instance, I had to swerve that conversation. It was getting too awkward. Let's talk about the contraction ain't. This informal term can substitute for am not, is not, are not, has not, have not, and in some cases even doesn't, didn't, or don't, depending on the context. It's widely used in casual speech, especially in African American English. One important thing to note is that ain't, unlike standard contractions, doesn't change to match the pronoun. Let's dive into some examples that show this word in action.
Cause once this baby's born, you ain't going out again till that baby's in college.
I'm telling you right now, this tea right here ain't no joke, Lolo.
15 years ago, we ain't have nothing.
89, you ain't lost no weight!
You're lucky she ain't see the one with the braids.
You want to make a lot of noise to make the witnesses run away, so they ain't gonna be looking at you.
Next up is to rock something. This means to wear or display something confidently. For example, he's rocking that new jacket like a model. These examples will give you a clearer picture of how this term works.
You have been rocking that same style for a while.
You are rocking that.
No, I meant to tell you, you're rocking that suit.
We have the expression on purpose. This means doing something intentionally or deliberately. For example, he left the lights on, but it wasn't on purpose. The next scenes will give you clear examples of how this expression works in context.
Because what I did to you, it wasn't on purpose.
It's not like I did it on purpose.
You did that on purpose just to fuck me over.
Now let's move to the word spot. This refers to a position, place, or role, especially something desirable or earned. You might use spot in contexts like, after years of hard work, she finally earned her spot as the lead designer in the company. Let's dive into some examples that show this word in action.
I thought that you were maybe mad that I'm I don't know, taking her spot.
No way in hell you're getting my spot on that rat.
No, as much as I thought that I wanted her spot to be able to dance with a legend like Miguel.
I don't like how serious they take themselves. I've always been me, I guess I know myself. Shakiness, man, I don't have no time for that. My city too turned up, I'll take the fine for that.
First up is the expression to take oneself seriously. This means treating yourself or your actions with an excessive sense of importance, often to the point of being overly self-absorbed. In everyday life, you might say, don't take yourself too seriously, it's just a game. Next, we have shakiness. This refers to instability, insecurity, or uncertainty, often in someone's actions or attitude. For example, you might say, I can't trust her decision-making. There's too much shakiness in her plans. Let's move to turned up, a slang term for being excited, energetic, or ready to party. In real life, you could say, the party was so turned up last night, I couldn't stop dancing. Finally, we have fine. Here, it refers to a monetary penalty for violating a rule or law. A real-world example would be, I was driving a little too fast, and now I have to pay a fine. These examples will give you a clearer picture of how this term works.
And he made me pay the fine, even though it was huge.
You just go down to the court on Thursday and you pay the fine.
They have been sentenced to 3 months imprisonment and a heavy fine.
That's been where you find me at. That's been where you find me at. I know a nigga named Johnny Bling. He put me on to define the things.
We have the phrasal verb, to put someone onto something. This means introducing someone to something new, often a valuable experience, idea, or trend. For example, you could say, my friend put me onto this amazing new restaurant.
Then Kanye dropped it was polos and backpacks. Man, that was when Ethan was pushing the Subaru hatchback. Man, I'm talking way before hashtags. I was running through the 6 with my woes.
First, we have the verb to drop. In slang, this refers to releasing or launching something, especially music, albums, or products. It's widely used in the entertainment industry. For instance, when Drake dropped his new album, everyone was talking about it for weeks. Now let's look at the verb to push. This slang term often means to drive or operate a vehicle. In the context of the lyrics, it refers to driving with style or pride, even if the car isn't fancy. For example, I've been pushing this old car for years, but it still gets me where I need to go. Then we have hatchback. This is a specific type of car with a rear door that swings upward, providing access to the main compartment. Hatchbacks are known for being compact and practical. Finally, there's polos. This refers to polo shirts, casual, collared shirts often associated with preppy or sporty style. You might say, back in the day, I used to wear polos to school almost every day.
You know how that shit go. You know how that shit go. You know how that shit go. Don't fuck with them niggas, they too irrational. Whoa!
First up is the slang phrase, to fuck with someone or something. This expression can have different meanings based on the context. 1, it can mean to like, support, or be involved with someone or something in a positive way. For instance, I really fuck with her music, it's so good. 2, it can also mean to bother, antagonize, or mess with someone or something. For example, don't fuck with me while I'm working. I need to focus. These scenes will make the meaning of this term crystal clear.
He's probably just trying to fuck with us, right?
The reason I ask is, as much as I fuck with this new method, there's nothing like smelling and touching, you know?
I told you not to fuck with me! The thing I really respect about you, why I fuck with you for real, son, is that you won't let the industry box you in.
Next, we have the adjective irrational. This describes someone acting without reason or logic, often unpredictably or emotionally. In real life, you might say, it's irrational to make big purchases without planning your budget.
This is that nasty flow. Top boy in this shit, I'm so international.
We have the word nasty. While it typically means unpleasant or gross in standard English, in slang, it can mean impressive, intense, or exceptionally good. For example, you might say, her guitar solo was nasty. It blew everyone away.
And you know how that shit go. I might declare it a holiday as soon as Baka get back on the road. Yeah, but you know how that shit go. They so irrational, they don't want to patch it up, they want to mesh it up. Whoa!
Now we have to declare. This means to formally or publicly announce something. For example, you could say, the president declared a state of emergency after the storm. Next is the expression to get back on the road. It means to resume a journey or activity after a break or delay. An example would be, I've been out of the office for a week, but I'll get back on the road to finish the project soon. Lastly, we have to patch something up. This phrasal verb means to fix or reconcile a relationship or situation. For example, you might say, we patched it up after our argument and decided to move forward. Check out these examples to see the term in natural settings.
Well, maybe you should try to patch things up with him.
I hope we can patch
patch it up together.
I knew you guys would patch things up.
In the lyrics, there's the phrasal verb to mash something up. This means to ruin or destroy something, either physically or metaphorically. For instance, we need everything to work perfectly for the presentation. Don't mash it up.
My nigga Jibber, he whip it, I ride in the passenger. I'm way up, I stay up, I'm 2 up, I'm 3 up, I had to get back to your whoa.
The first word is the slang term whip, which refers to a car, especially one that's stylish or expensive. As a verb, it means to drive a car skillfully or confidently. For example, he's whipping that sports car down the highway like a pro. Here's how the word comes alive in different situations.
Bruh, if they got a nice whip, more than likely, they got a nice house.
No disrespect, but I really think it's time you get a new whip.
You know, I just let them use the whip sometimes.
Then we have in the passenger. This refers to sitting in the passenger seat of a vehicle, typically next to the driver. Finally, we have the informal adverb way. It's a way of saying very or a lot. It's often used to emphasize or intensify a statement. In everyday conversations, you might hear it like this: that movie was way better than I expected. It's a casual yet impactful way to make a statement more dramatic or expressive. Let's explore how this term comes to life in a different way through these clips.
That makes way more sense.
Come on, you're making our family sound way worse than they actually are.
I could never date somebody that's way louder than I am.
Okay.
Because I know that I'm loud.
Yeah.
All right, let's recap everything we've covered through this short story. Jay and his woes were running through the city. We've got to earn our spot out here, Jay said, adjusting his jacket to rock their crew's emblem proudly. You know how it goes, Malik replied, swerving his coupe with ease. Everything we do tonight is on purpose. No slips, no getting exposed. The night was theirs to conquer. Jay parked his coupe, glancing at Malik still pushing his old hatchback. Man, still loyal to that car? Jay teased. Don't fuck with me, Malik laughed, adjusting his polo. This style never gets old. Inside, the party was turned up, but Jay felt some shakiness. People here take themselves too seriously, he said. Yeah, Malik agreed. It's irrational how wild some get. One wrong move and someone's paying a fine. The next day, they were back in the groove, with Malik now whipping a new, nasty sports car. I might declare it a holiday if we keep this up, he said, grinning. Once we get back on the road, the fun's just getting started. Jay slid in the passenger. Let's just hope we don't mash it up like last time. You know we're staying on top, Malik said, keeping his focus. We stay up no matter what. We're way ahead of the game now. Remember when I put you onto that playlist? That's the vibe I'm about to drop with my next single. It's going to be huge. All right, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment with your favorite phrase or a song you'd like us to break down next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.